All right, Larry Krueger here for the Pig and a Pickle Krug Show. We're going to go live right now and talk a little bit about tomorrow's Broncos Niners joint practice. We're also going to talk a little bit about Matt Barrows has a list and he ranks the Niners rookies. We'll take a look at it. We'll rank our own, and we're going to hear from the great Don Puni as well. It's the Krug Show on a Wednesday night, a hot Wednesday night in the creek. Let's get this thing rolling right now. Off and running, Krug Show, Wednesday night. Hope everybody's having a great night. 49ers had the walkthrough today. They get the Broncos rolling in tomorrow. And it's on. The joint practices are here. Actually, joint practice. It's a singular practice. And then, of course, the Niners will be off on Friday and Saturday night, 5:30 at Levi's. Preseason game number 1. Man, I am fired up for that one. The 42nd preseason meeting of the Niners and the Broncos. Broncos lead the all-time series 22-19. They're 6-point favorites. The game's on K-Picks. Guy Haberman and Tim Ryan on the call. It's also on the radio, 810 on the AM dial, 107.7 FM on the FM dial, 5:30 kick. And the first preseason game, the first of 3. All right, let's talk a little bit about rookies, because I think the theme of the 49er camp has been these rookies. The Niners have a whole slew of rookies. They're hitting a reset. And they had their 86 draft. The 86 draft was a great draft for the Niners, and it really lined them up. And they were good from 87, 88, 89, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93. I mean, the 86 draft was huge. It was the volume draft that kind of fueled maybe the greatest run in 49ers history. And John Lynch and the personnel department had another phenomenal draft. And Matt Barrows, who I think is outstanding, Niners beat writer for The Athletic, did a breakdown. And he ranked the Niners rookies 1 through 18 just a couple days ago. And we're going to kind of go through it a little bit and take a look at it. And then we'll give you our own rankings. Maddie's number 1 ranking, and it's in The Athletic. We're not going to give the whole list away because we don't want you to skip Matt's article. It's a great article. But number 1 on his list, who is the best rookie in Matt's opinion? He's got Upton Stout. And Upton Stout's been good. He's been really good. He's been running as the nickel corner with the first team D. He's their third corner. And this was before Renardo went out, before Lenore went out with the hip injury, Renardo with the hammy. He's little, but other than that, he's awesome. He's quick. He's aggressive. He's prepped. When I say he's prepped, he's totally in his playbook. He's smart. He's intense. He wants to be good. And then he comes away with a lot of great plays. He's been knocking PBU left and right. Guy makes tackles in the run game. He's just like a little muscle at 5'8". He's just tough. So he's got Upton Stout as the most impressive rookie. And it's a really interesting list. He's got CJ West, number 2. And I agree CJ West is number 2. He'd be number 2 on my list as well. He's got, Mykel Williams ranked high. He's got Nick Martin ranked high. The things that really stood out, though, was he's got undrafted rookie corner Jacob Robinson out of BYU listed as the Niners' 6th best rookie. Now, that's amazing. And Robinson's interesting. He is really interesting. Why is he interesting? He had 11 interceptions in college. He's got great ball skills. 11 interceptions. That's good. And then he runs 4.36. So he's got great speed. The book on him was that he's got great speed and he's got great ball skills, but that he's a little on the small side, needs to get stronger. But I got to be honest, I've watched him, now for a week or so, and he's not the biggest, most physical corner, but there are many corners in pro football that are lighter than this guy. I mean, he's hardly like, oh my God, this guy's weak or something. No, he makes plays. He's aggressive. He's a PBU king. He's been really good at closing space with the ball in the air. And the injuries to the other corners have given him more experience as an outside corner, and that's where he's lining up. So Jacob Robinson, he's been second team lined up outside, and Maddie's got him 6th best rookie. How about that? That really opened my eyes. Okay, so that one opened my eyes. The other one that opened my eyes, and I guess we shouldn't really be surprised by this, but how many years are the Niners going to draft multiple running backs and have the guy that they took last be better than the guy they took first? I mean, it happened with, it's happened before. It happened with Trey Sermon and Elijah Mitchell. It happened with Jordan Mason and who else? It happened with Joe Williams. I mean, they drafted some of these backs high that weren't very good, and then the guys they've drafted later have been better. Well, the Niners this year drafted Jordan James out of Oregon in the 5th round, and they didn't draft another running back, but they signed Corey Kiner as an undrafted player out of Cincinnati, and Maddie's got Kiner in front of James, and I would too. And he mentions, that Kiner's got great balance, and that hasn't missed a single practice all summer, all spring. He's out there, and Jordan James has been out since Tuesday with a knee injury. Last Tuesday, he's now back. Garendo's got a shoulder, hurt his shoulder on a kick return last Saturday. So, CMC is, they're trying to monitor his touches and not give him the ball too much. So Corey Kiner's got a lot of run. What I love is that this guy's got contact balance, but he's got unbelievable heart, and you can see it. And if you didn't see it on the practice field, go watch Cincinnati film. You'll see it there. This guy's a warrior. He's a warrior. He's compact. He's competitive. He's got unbelievable balance. So I thought that was interesting that Maddie's got Corey Kiner in front of Jordan James. Now, that wasn't the only surprise. How about this one? Maddie's got Sebastian Valdez in front of Alfred Collins. What? But I would agree. Sebastian Valdez has stood out. He finished up at Washington, and he's 6'3", 300 pounds, short arms, 31 and a quarter inch arms. He had 34 bench press reps at the combine, or in the lead up to the draft. He actually wasn't invited to the combine, but if he had been invited to the combine, those 34 reps would have led the combine. He would have had more reps on the bench than any defensive tackle that showed up at the combine. And this guy is an absolute monster in these one-on-ones. Connor Colby is seeing Sebastian Valdez in his nightmares. He's beating Connor Colby like a drum. It's amazing. This guy, and there's nothing accidental about it. It's like this whole, I asked Saleh, and he's like, well, let's see when Denver rolls in. We'll find out what's real and what ain't. And I think it's a great comment by him, and I understand where he's coming from. Pump the brakes on some of these young guys, and we'll see. I'm eager to see Valdez and Miners locking horns. We'll talk more about that in a bit. But Sebastian Valdez is real. First of all, 6'3", 300 pounds with 34 bench press reps means that, he's 6'3", 300 pounds. We're not talking about, he's not 268 or something. He's 300 pounds. And then, he's not 5'11", he's 6'3". And, the 34 bench press reps, it's kind of like, it's like in baseball, can you hit the fastball? Can you hit the breaking ball? And in football, it's like if you can beat a guy with power, then he always has to be ready for that power. And this guy is beating some of the Niner interior offensive linemen with a bull rush, just straight bull rushing them into the quarterback. He's strong enough to bull rush you into the quarterback. So then he also is really, really advanced with his hands, and he's quick, and he's in awesome shape. They call him the Little Incredible Hulk. This guy has been way too much for the Niner interior offensive lineman. I'm eager to see him go up against Brendel. I'm eager to see him go up against Quinn Miners from Denver, but Valdez is real, and he's got great hand usage, and he can get you on an edge. And I've seen him I've seen him do it all, right? I've seen him play some games with his hands up front and dip his right shoulder, and all of a sudden he takes an interior trek to the quarterback and he dips that shoulder, and good luck. I've seen him dip the inside shoulder and, coming off the right end and get the edge. And then I've seen him bull rush guys as well. I mean, if you can beat a guy with your bull rush and you can beat him to the edge and you can knife back inside, I mean, you're a nightmare. What a get. What a get. And then Matty's got Alfred Collins, number 10, he's got Valdez, number 9. He's got Collins, number 10. Now, I understand why, Collins is not a pass rusher. If you're gonna sit there and evaluate Alfred Collins based on one-on-one drills, then he's not going to rank very high because that's not what he does. That's not his game. But he is getting better. And he's not a good pass rusher, but he's getting better. What he is a gigantic body with great feet. Huge body, great feet. He's going to keep bodies off of Nick Martin, off of Fred, off of D. Winters. That's what he's going to do. So, Collins, I think Collins really does look good. I know people are like, oh, very disappointed because he's not a pass rusher per se, and he's getting stonewalled oftentimes in a lot of these one-on-one, battles with the offensive linemen. But he's not going to be a pass rusher. He's going to be an absorber of offensive linemen, and his job is to play the run. And I think he's going to do it really, really well. So I did find that interesting, though. You got Valdez, who wasn't even drafted. He's the 9th best rookie if they were doing a redraft, according to Matty. He's got Collins at number 10. So I thought that was interesting. And then just looking at the back end of his rankings here, he's got Marquise Siegel 13. And he's got one guy way too low. He's got Stone Blanton 17. He says he's playing middle linebacker with a third-team D. He isn't as fast as most of his fellow linebackers, and linebacker is becoming a position that demands speed. There's no question, but this guy knows how to play, and the communication's amazing. And he's showing up at the football, and watch him make a ton of tackles in the preseason. He looks great to me. Stone Blanton is a sleeper. It doesn't, once again, we get way too caught up with these numbers, and I get it. He doesn't run fast. And he's going to be isolated in the pass game against an athlete in space and probably be forced off the field. He probably does need to work on his speed a little bit. But, linebacker's an instinctive position. And if you have instincts, I'll take a guy with instincts over a guy with speed all the time. A guy who has speed and instincts is the guy you want. But the guy who's got speed or instincts, you want the instincts. You want the guy who's going to flow in the right direction. You don't, great speed at linebacker is awesome. But if you have no instincts, guess what? Your great speed is taking you further away from the play. So it actually starts to work against you if you have great speed and poor instincts. This guy's got unbelievable instincts. Johnny Holland loves him. And when I asked Johnny about him, he's like, man, the ball production is off the charts. He had 18 tackles in a game last year, and he's got unbelievable ball production in this camp. And even Johnny said, this guy's got as good a ball production as any linebacker we have on the team, and he's probably played the fewest snaps, practice reps and practice snaps of any of the linebackers, and yet he's among the leaders in tackles. So you guys remember Chris Borland. Stone Blanton could very well be a Chris Borland. Stone Blanton might be an NFL linebacker. He may not look the part, but it's all about how you play. The old saying, it's the way you play, the day you play. You know what I mean? It's as simple as that. And Stone Blanton shows up. And I'll put my money on that guy, man. He is good. But Matty's got him 17th on this list. I think I would have him a little higher. And then Matty 18th has Curtis Rourke, who's yet to play at all. He's coming back from the ACL. If you're going to have Rourke on this list at all, I guess he just has him on the list just because, make sure that you keep track of the fact that he's a rookie too, and don't forget that he's part of this class. But, in reality, Rourke would probably be higher on this list if you're talking about value and that kind of thing, because you're talking about a guy who might be an NFL starting quarterback who you got in the 7th round. who is coming off, who played last year with an ACL injury and played really well and led Indiana to the college football playoff. So I think Rourke has potential to be quite a bit higher on this list than 18. And that's where he is. He's dead last year at 18. All right. So what's my list. I was thinking, if I was doing my list, who are the best rookies that I've seen? I won't go 1 through 18. I'm just going to go top 12. But here's mine in order. Best rookie that I've seen all summer, I'm going to put Nick Martin. I mean, he's running at weak side linebacker with the twos. A lot of people are like, he's not as good as D. Winters. Well, D. Winters is playing at a really high level. D. Winters knows the defense. But I would say pump the brakes on people saying that Nick Martin isn't this, isn't that, because, I spent the last week at practice on the binoculars. And if you're on the binoculars, you're seeing the play like you're right there in the huddle. And Nick Martin is showing up at the football all the time. He's 6 feet 220, but he's strong enough. He's violent enough. He's fast enough. He's got great instincts. That's a Pro Bowl linebacker. I mean, I feel like I've watched enough football to say Nick Martin's a Pro Bowl linebacker. And if you can find a Pro Bowl type linebacker, that's number one on my list. So Nick Martin is number one on my list. West is number two. He plug and play. Day one starter, just a beast. Awesome culture player, just a great player. Run, pass, he looks fantastic. He loves the game, contagious energy. He's awesome. I have Upton Stout number 3. I think he's going to be a starter at the nickel spot, but I mean, a 5'8" nickel linebacker, a nickel corner, no matter how good he is, can't be in front of a plug and play two-way defensive tackle or a Pro Bowl linebacker. So I got Martin 1, West 2, and I got Stout 3. Mykel Williams, I have number 4. Now I'm a little conflicted because Mykel has looked so dominant as an interior rusher and so ordinary as an outside rusher. As an interior rusher, and we'll hear from Puni here in a minute, and you'll hear Puni, who's had to block Mykel, talk about it. He's just too fast and too quick and too elusive and too slithery for if there's ever any kind of big open space. He's such an interior mismatch. When you have wiggle and pass rush and you're in a defensive end, but you also have length and strength and power like Mykel does, you're way too much for your typical NFL guard. And when you see Mykel go against guards, he looks like a star. He looks like a guy who's going to be a great player. He's dominating these guards. They can't get a hand on him. When they do, he powers them. When they don't, he slides by them. He can get narrow in the hole, and he can get in there. I mean, he's really overpowering against the guard. But then against the tackles, if he doesn't win with his initial plan, it's over. It's like, if it's a fight, they'd stop it. He's a really exciting interior rusher, but he needs work as an outside rusher because he doesn't have a lot of hand placement, and he's not like Nick Bosa where his hands and his feet and everything are all tied together. And it's like, no, he's raw. And he's got a very undeveloped rush plan. And if he doesn't beat you with his initial move, he's oftentimes stonewalled and gets 0 out of the rep. So I have Mykel 4th. If you watched him rush the guard, you'd put him 1. If you watched him rush the tackle, you'd put him 10. So I got him 4. I got him 4 just because very big, very talented. Definitely a mismatch inside. Number 5 on my list is Jordan Watkins. He looks really good as a punt returner. He's mentally smart, very high football IQ. He's making more and more plays every day. He's making them down the field. He's got 4.37 speed, and it shows up. This guy was one of my favorite receivers in the draft because it's like if you have the measurables and you have the production, turn off the projector and get to the next prospect. I mean, he had measurables and he's got production. So he did it in the SEC in one of the best conferences in America. So Jordan Watkins is real, and he's looked great, and he just gets better and better and better and better. He's the guy that's going to make the Niners kind of forget about Ayuk to some degree, because this guy can make plays down the field. He's faster. He's 200 pounds. He's a playmaker. And Purdy, he creates separation down the field, and Purdy is going to throw that ball down the field. If these receivers gain separation down the field. Purdy's aggressive. Watkins is the perfect receiver to have, to be aggressive down the field. So I have Watkins 5th. I have Corey Kiner 6th. I love Corey Kiner. He's just a warrior. I mean, the contact balance, the second effort. It's funny. I did a video saying he reminds me of Emmitt Smith, and I got all kinds of people ripping me and this and that. And I get it. Emmett, there's only one Emmett. Emmett's a Hall of Famer. He's one of the leading rushers in the NFL, and I'm comparing him to an undrafted free agent rookie running back. But the same size, same dimensions, same speed, same heart. I mean, this guy's got heart. Emmett had heart. This guy's got heart. I love Corey Kiner, man. I can't wait to see what he does this year. I have a feeling they're going to have a hard time keeping him off the field. So I have him number 6. He's not super fast, but other than that, he's good. He can catch. He can run. He's got second effort. He's got contact balance. He's tough. He shows up every day. He loves to play. Corey Kiner, number 6. Number 7, I have Sebastian Valdez. He looks fantastic. I have Alfred Collins at number 8. He's definitely getting better. I have Jacob Robinson at number 9. He's playing second team outside corner. I have Stone Blanton 10. He's a true sleeper. I have Jordan James 11. Now, he can really catch the ball, but he also had a knee injury. And there's some times I'm like, you know what? I don't know. I'm not sure. He doesn't have big time speed. I'm eager to see what he looks like in the preseason. And then I got Connor Colby 12, second team left guard. Unbelievably, he was billed as a guy who wasn't much of a pass protector, but a great run blocker. And he's been the opposite. He's struggling as a run blocker, and he's been really good as a pass protector, according to Firster. So that's my grouping of these guys. That's how I have them ranked. 1 through 12. Martin, West, Stout, Williams, Watkins, Kiner, Valdez, Collins, Robinson, Blanton, James, and Colby, 1 through 12. That's how I'd rank them. All right. So, that's my thought on it. And you've got Barrow's thoughts on it. Let's hear from Don Puni, because Don Puni is, second-year player. Game recognizes game. If you really want to find out about what defensive linemen are good, you got to ask the O-linemen. You want to find out what corner is good, you got to ask the receivers. You want to find out, what running back is good, you got to ask the linebackers. I mean, you really have to ask the guys on the other side of the line of scrimmage. And so caught up with Don Puni, and he weighed in on the Niners rookies. And here's a little bit of that conversation right here.
Back to Niners Nightly. Larry Krueger with you on the Sports Leader, and we've got Niners guard Don Puni with us. And we've had a chance to talk to you a couple days ago, but man, camp's going good for you. How's the summer been?
It's been good, man. Summer's good. Excited to get back to football, really. Just trying to work on things that need to brush up. And, we're getting to the dog days of camp, going against the same guys. So excited for the Broncos to come to town and go against some new people.
Yeah, well, I mean, we saw a little skirmish today. It's hot, and you guys tired of hitting each other, and you're ready for the Broncos, huh?
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, going against the same guys every single day for 12 practices. It can get a little hectic, and you saw today, it was a little brawl, nothing crazy, but guys just are ready to hit somebody else.
It's funny. I was listening today, right, as you guys are starting the one-on-one O-line, D-line, and I hear Firster say, all right, now let's play some football. Enough of the drills, enough of the – do you get tired of the individual? I mean, obviously you want to get better, but that stuff gets old, huh?
Individual?
Yeah.
And one-on-ones?
Well, no. I mean, he was saying, man, one-on-ones is more like real football as opposed to drills.
Oh, individuals is very tedious, but it flies by. That is the real time to focus on your craft and what you're supposed to do, get your steps down, get your angles right. And he cares about that a lot. So it's not – I consider that a big part of practice too, because how much he puts into it and how much he cares about it. So, but real football is when we line the ball up first down and it's move the ball. It's not situational. It's first and 10, like, let's go. To me, that's real football.
You mentioned that you kind of hit the rookie wall last year. I didn't really notice it in your play, but maybe you did. What did you think? What was that? What did that feel like? Because this is the most games last year that you probably ever played.
It just felt physically, it was very demanding on my body. And, me and Coach First, I had to talk mid-season about taking care of my body and the extra stuff you need to do to be able to play 17 games and plus the postseason if need be. So that is the biggest step I've taken in the offseason, just taking care of my body. But yeah, I think if I could go back, that's one thing I would change about the season, just making sure I'm good to play all 17 weeks.
What would you say to Drew Moss and Connor Colby, two rookies that I'm sure look at you and are like, I would like to be like Dom. I'd like to have the kind of rookie year that you had. What do you say to Moss and Colby? Do you have a good dialogue with them?
Yeah, I do. I mean, they're great athletes and great people, first of all. If I could give them any piece of advice, I would just say keep your head down, take the coaching points, and just keep working. Do what he wants within the offense. Don't try not to do your own thing. He's very lenient on things sometimes. If you're like good enough at it, he can let you do it. But work within the offense, keep your head down, and when your opportunity comes, you gotta take advantage of it because it doesn't come often in this league. So when you get it, you gotta shine.
O lineman, no D lineman for sure. D lineman, no O lineman. So I'll name a guy. You tell me what it's like to go up against him. Mykel, who can be tough on guards, right? Mm-hmm. So what kind of a challenge is Mykel to block?
He's a big challenge because he lines up in a wide 3 or 4 eye, and it's a lot of space for a guard, and especially a guy like him with his long arms and his attributes, his speed to power. Overall, just a great athlete. So he presents a lot of challenges, and especially if you get him in a load front and you got a shade coming your way. You got to get out there and you got to block him one-on-one pretty much. So I'm excited to see that in game. He presents a lot of challenges for guards and even like tackles too.
Yeah.
So he's going to be a problem.
You can't lunge with the guys that quick.
Huh? Never. No. Because his arms are long enough to, if you lunge, he's going to swipe. If you wait, if you're too patient, he's going to speed to power you. You almost got to play him perfect. So yeah, I'm glad he's on our team.
Collins is a house. What's it like blocking Collins?
Man, he is a house. He does not move on double teams. I'm glad we run the offense to where we make D lines run a lot because if we had to power him out and get him out to move him, he wouldn't move. So I'm real happy to have him on the team. I think right now he's working on his pass rush ability, and I can already tell the difference. He's getting better with them one-on-ones, and Coach Krueger is doing a great job working with him.
Two last guys. Give me your thoughts on West. He's violent with his hands. Yeah. He's a different challenge than Collins.
Yeah.
But he's given a lot of the offensive linemen a lot of problems.
Yeah, he has, man. He looks big. He is big. He's very powerful, but he's got a little twitch to him, which guys like that usually don't have. I think they struck gold with him. He's going to be a great player. He's very good in the run game and pass game. If you get him in a one-on-one situation, he can do some work. So I'm excited to see him play.
Last one for you, man. And we really appreciate your time, Don Puni, with us on The Sports Leader. You mentioned the little Hulk.
Valdez.
Yeah. And just watching him, I didn't know anything about him. But, he can bull rush you because he's really strong. Mm-hmm. But then he can also kind of play some games with his hands and then get you on an edge. And all of a sudden, it's like he's really quick. So, what do you make of him? I mean, he's really good. Huh?
I think we're very lucky to get him undrafted.
Yeah.
Because he's a hell of a player. He, like you said, he's very big and very powerful, and he looks the part too. So he's very good with his head movement and a lot of stutter bull, and he gets you off your feet a little bit. He's gonna be a hell of a player, man. Once he puts it together, I think he's just got to work on doing the move on the run and just being able to like fluently do it. But right now, he's already showing signs that he can be a great player in this league. So I'm excited for this D-line coming in, man. The front office really did the right thing.
Fired up for your season, man. Good to talk to you. Have a great season.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
There you go. The great Don Puni. And what a family of athletes. Listen to this. This is pretty impressive. His parents were both college athletes at Truman State University, right? His father was a football player. Not surprising. His mother played volleyball. His brother Derek and his brother Devin were also football players and also went to Central Missouri. And that was one of the schools that Don played for before he went to Kansas. His sister Brianna was also a college basketball player at Illinois State. And if that's not enough athletic genes in the family, when you go to your tailgater this weekend with all your Niner fans, throw this one to them. Can you guys name the NFL defensive lineman who is related to Don Puni? Can you name that guy? It's Buffalo Bills defensive end A.J. Espinosa. Didn't realize that. He's a cousin of Don Puni. So Don Puni, hell of a guy, really good player. And man, I saw a redraft of last year's draft, and they said that if the draft were held again, he would have been the first offensive lineman drafted. Amazing. Instead he went in the third round. So great get by the Niners. And you heard him kind of shouting out his the Niner front office for their defensive line selections. He is definitely a fan of some of these young D linemen. All right, let's hit a couple of these supers, and then let's get into what I'm hoping to see tomorrow at the joint practices between the Niners and the Broncos. But let's take a look at some of these supers, and we appreciate all you guys for donations. Scotty D in the house. Do you really believe quarterback Tanner Mordecai was cut for non-football reasons, or were you making a nepo baby joke? Nepotism. Oh, no, I don't. I think, no, I don't think, I never said that. I never said that Tanner Mordecai was cut for non-football reasons. I just said that, that they're even, Tanner Mordecai, I think, is very similar as a prospect to Carter Bradley. How so? They're both have good arms, but they both kind of throw with kind of flat trajectory. There's not a lot of loft on either guy's ball. They're throwing it through a wall. I also didn't see. Now, I like Mordecai as a prospect, and Shanahan said they may bring him back. They got caught in a numbers game. They like him. He's got 4.4 speed. He's got a really good arm. I think, he's played well. When he's been in there, he's played well. And I think he's a decent NFL quarterback. I don't know if he's a starting NFL quarterback. I think he's more of a backup. But what I mentioned was that Mac Jones is buddies with Carter Bradley, and Brock Purdy also worked out with Carter Bradley, and they all know each other. And, it's possible that they said, hey, we'd like to have Carter Bradley in this room. And I think, because that's come up a couple times that they are close to Carter Bradley. And even Gus mentioned it, that there was a relationship there with Mac Jones and with Brock Purdy. So I think all these guys are pretty good. But I will say this, Carter Bradley, I think maybe even has a better arm than Tanner Mordecai. He's got a kind of a rifle. I mean, Carter Bradley can put some zip on it. Now, he doesn't have 4.4 speed, but he's probably, as the son of a coach, a little bit better at processing at the line of scrimmage. And I think it's, to me, they're very even. They're very even. They both throw flat football. I mean, I like this quarterback room, whether it's Mordecai or Bradley. I like Bradley. I mean, I've been suggesting, I think I suggested on Twitter, but I definitely have been a fan of Carter Bradley for a while. I like him. I liked him at South Alabama. He started at Toledo, finished at South Alabama. And as I said, he's got a rocket. He can process what he sees. He's kind of smart. He's football IQ. But there's also some swagger there. And as I said, he's got a rifle. This guy can really throw it. So I think Mordecai is good too. And I'd love to have the Niners develop him somehow. But I will say this, I didn't see tremendous growth from year 1 to year 2. Like, I didn't see him throwing with better loft. I didn't see him throwing with better touch. He kind of lacks some touch. And not that Bradley has great touch. He doesn't, but I think that was Mordecai's kind of bugaboo. That, and he's, he didn't train with Mac Jones and Brock Purdy in the offseason. So I will say this. I think the Niners are going to miss Brian Griese quite a bit. I really do. Going from Brian Griese to Mick Lombardi I don't think that's a lateral move. I think that's a downgrade. I mean, Brian Griese played quarterback in the NFL. Mick Lombardi didn't. We'll see how the quarterbacks fare this year, but I think the Niners are going to miss Brian Griese badly. All right, let's get to another one here. We've got N Portillo 63. My guy. Thank you. He says, how do you think Jordan Watkins' career will go? I have him in a dynasty league and hope he ends up as wide receiver too. I'm a believer. I'm a real believer in Jordan Watkins, and I was a believer There were only 3 players that in the entire draft process from, let's say the college football bowl season through the draft in April. We'll call that the NFL draft season. And I do a bunch of mock drafts throughout draft season, one every day or every couple days or whatever. Whenever I feel like there's new information, I want to look at it again. And the only 3 players that I had mocked to the Niners that the Niners took were Nick Martin, CJ West, and Jordan Watkins. I'm a huge fan of Watkins. I watched a ton of Ole Miss. When Trey Harris went down with the knee injury, this guy stepped in, and he was fantastic. He's got 4.36 speed, 4.37 speed. He makes plays down the field. He's made catches down the field. He makes it look easy. He's 200 pounds. He can break tackles. He's stronger than you think. I really like him. I'm a big Jordan Watkins fan. I think he's got a bright future. I think he's going to play right away. I think he's going to give this team something it didn't have. I think Brock Purdy's going to like the receivers he has. And Brock made the point to me a couple weeks ago when I asked him about, some of the injuries at receiver. He's like, yeah, we're down Ayuk and, we don't have Debo and this and that, but we got some guys. It's not like we don't got guys. We got guys. He's like, I like my guys. And I see what he's saying because they're Demarcus Robinson, Jordan Watkins, Jacob Cowing, Ricky Pearsall. I mean, there's guys. They have receivers on this team. They could use another, maybe a couple others, but the cupboard is not bare, as they say. All right. Ron Holder, Larry, you said the same about Jalen Graham as you're saying about Nick Martin. No, I didn't. Jalen Graham is fast and athletic and twitchy. Jalen Graham never had 130 tackles in a season. Jalen Graham never had the kind of production or power in his game as Nick Martin. Jalen Graham played more of a kind of a joker role. He was kind of played that hybrid safety linebacker role. I've liked him for a couple years, and I like him still. And in fact, Johnny Holland told me that Jalen Graham is one of the most improved players on the entire defense, and he's really eager to see what he's going to look like in the preseason because, in Johnny's words, he finally knows the defense. So, yeah, I mean, I maybe you said the same thing about Jalen Graham as Nick Martin is they're both good young linebackers, but the level of talent and production that Martin had as a full-time player his junior year, he had 130 tackles. He ran in the 4.5s. He had 26 reps at 225. Jalen Graham doesn't touch that strength, speed, or production. So if I made them sound the same, forgive me. They are not. They are not. We got this one. Not that I'm not anti Jalen Graham though. By the way, you know, Ron, you're coming at me like Jalen Graham sucks. Jalen Graham doesn't suck, and Jalen Graham's going to play pretty well this preseason, and I think he's going to make the team. Scotty D says, no one is better than Larry on interviewing players because players respect and appreciate Larry. Clearly, he is the best at interviewing. Hit the like and subscribe, people. Oh, Scotty, I appreciate that, man. As far as best and that kind of thing, I don't know about best. You know, best is those kind of plaudits. I will say this. I feel like I've got an organic dialogue with the players. Since I did scout and I have worked in pro football, I do understand their process. I understand what they're doing throughout the day and how that all fits into Sunday. And I've put together these game plans. So I think if there's any advantage I have on anybody, it's just that I've worked in pro football. So I know the routine. I know every process of what they do, from the meetings to the film study. I mean, I know the questions that they're asking. I know the questions that they're being asked. You know, I've gone through that process of preparing to win in pro football, and you know, so if there's any advantage I have, it's just that I've kind of lived their life a little bit, and so maybe I understand what they're going through. But you know what? I do love doing it. If there's one thing that I enjoy the most about the YouTube channel, being on KMBR, all the media stuff, it's the conversations, the organic conversations that I have with the players. in the locker room during the practice week. To me, that is my favorite stuff. Like, of all the content that we put out, my favorite personally is the locker room stuff for sure. So, Scotty, I appreciate that, man. And then other people in the chat are like, Krug's the worst. All right, easy. Everybody's got their favorites. Mr. Cartier, really hoping Luter and Cowing step up. Cowing was in the process of stepping up. Luter, I talked to Gus Bradley the other day, and he's like, yeah, man, he's big, he's long, he's athletic, he's getting better every day. So I feel good that Bradley's here, because Bradley was he was the coach of the Legion of Boom. He coached Cam Chancellor. He coached Earl Thomas. He coached Richard Sherman. He coached Brandon Browner. And because he had Brandon Browner and Richard Sherman, we're talking about a set of corners. One was 6'3" and the other was 6'4". And now you've got, some great length on the corner in Darrell Luter. And he looks good. I mean, he really does look good. I mean, now he's young and he's going to have his moments, but man, the Niners said goodbye to Sam Womack last year, and it was a mistake. And I really hope they don't say goodbye to Luter, because I kind of feel like saying goodbye to Luter would be a major, major mistake. He is so talented. All right. So that does it for the Supers, and we do thank all you guys for jumping in on the Supers. All right. What do we want to see tomorrow as we wrap this up? All right. There's 5 things I want to see tomorrow. 1, Upton Stout against Marvin Mims. Upton Stout has been awesome. He's good against the pass. He's good against the run. He's the Niners starter at the nickel cornerback spot. And Marvin Mims is talented and fast. He was a great college receiver. He's in his 2nd year, and he's really good. He's really good. He's going to have a bust-out year. And can Stout run with Mims? Can Stout hang with Mims? I'm going to be looking for reps of Upton Stout against Marvin Mims. That's number 1. 2, how good are the Niner receivers? They look great right now, but the Niner, is that them, or is it the Niner corners and DBs that don't look good? There's a lot of youth in the Niner secondary. Ricky Pearsall, Jordan Watkins, the veteran DeMarcus Robinson, going up against Barron and Moss and Surtain. This might be the best corner trio in football. If the Niner receivers continue to make plays, that will be a great indication that they're going to have a good year. Number 3, Brock Purdy and Mac Jones have been great. They just have been both completing a high percentage. Now you're going up against a really good defense. And there's good talent on all 3 levels of this defense. And if Mac Jones and Brock Purdy continue to dominate and complete ball after ball after ball, that will be a good sign. I'm really eager to see CJ West and Sebastian Valdez, who have dominated the one-on-ones, go up against Quinn Miners. Miners is big and strong and physical, and he should be tougher than Connor Colby or Zach Johnson or some of the guys these guys are abusing in Niner camp. West and Valdez. If West and Valdez dominate against Quinn Miners, then watch out for West and Valdez this year, because Miners is one of the best interior offensive linemen in the sport. And last but certainly not least, I want to see some of our guys come back, right? I want to see DJ Jones, my guy DJ. I want to see Mike McGlinchey. I want to see Huff. And I want to see Dre. I want to see these guys. These are great Niners, man. Those are 4 really great dudes. Those are 4 of my unbelievable favorite Niners. DJ is one of my favorite of all time. So I'm eager to see those guys. So now the question is, are we going to see Dre Greenlaw and Mike Kliss from Channel 9 in Denver, the TV guy, the longtime Bronco reporter? I caught up with him earlier today, and Kliss is of the belief that we may not see Greenlaw. Listen to this. I want to see from the joint practices tomorrow. Maybe more importantly, what does Sean Payton want to see?
Yeah, they're, like Kyle Shanahan, they're going to, all their top guys will participate. I don't think you're going to see Dre Greenlaw. He tweaked his groin last week, and he put the full pads on yesterday, on Tuesday, but he didn't participate. So I would doubt, with such something that's so exerting like a joint practice, that he'd participate in that. But otherwise, I think everybody's going to be out there. The big thing here is like you guys went through a couple of years ago. Bo Nix had a nice rookie year. What will he do in year 2? Will he make a jump? That's number one. The running back position looks like Dobbins from the Chargers and the Ravens is going to be the lead running back, and then followed up by a second-round pick, R.J. Harvey. Want to see how they do. First-time tackling to the ground, kind of, sort of. So, running back, Mike Shanahan, Kyle's dad used to tell me when I first got on the beat 21 years ago, he said there's 2 positions you can't evaluate until the pads come on and you start hitting. And that's running back, because you got to see if they can break tackles, and safety, because you got to see if they can make tackles. So those are 2 spots right there. But middle linebacker, inside linebacker is big for the Broncos because of injuries. Alex Singleton, I think, will be out there a little bit tomorrow. He had a broken thumb last week. He's going to club it up, see if he can go. And with Greenlaw out, so it'll get down on the depth chart. But, Sean Payton has put a lot of pressure on this team, saying that he thinks it can get to the Super Bowl or win the Super Bowl. And so it'll be interesting if there's a little smack talk from the 49ers if the Broncos do something wrong yesterday, if that's kind of a season-long thing.
Mike Kliss right there from Channel 9 News in Denver, longtime Denver Bronco beat guy, used to write for the Denver Post, and he says Dre Greenlaw will not be at the joint practices tomorrow. So anyway, that's going to do it for us. I hope everybody enjoyed the little breakdown. Thanks to Pig and a Pickle for being the title sponsor of the Krueger Show. Thanks to Sharp Corners Sports Cards and Collectibles. My good friend Anthony Catania. They're at 205 Cypress Avenue in Pacific Grove, California, on the Monterey Peninsula. Anthony's at 831-521-5264 for all your sports cards and collectible needs. And check them out on Instagram at Sharp Corners 831 on the gram. Also, thanks to Claw Daddy Arcades. They're a great follow on Instagram at Claw_Daddy_Arcades to find a location near you. Brand new locations opening at Capitola Mall and Visalia Mall later on this year. And thanks to Pig and a Pickle. Check them out. They're in Emeryville. They're in Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out. Thanks to Kev. Thanks to all of you. Thanks to Don Puni. Thanks to Mike Kliss. Have a great night. And tomorrow, big day. Niners and Broncos joint practices. Man, I am fired up to watch it. I cannot wait. I will be there early. If you see me on the field, come by and say hello. And until then, peace.
Yeah, never met a man I've been scared of. Careful.